Welcome to the news. We start with a major development as President Donald Trump hinted during an interview that the United States may start arming the Iranian people amid the ongoing war. Trump brought up the tragic loss of 42,000 unarmed protesters in just 2 weeks, suggesting that if the Iranian people were armed, they would fight back against the regime. We dive into the details of this explosive suggestion right now.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we turn to a disturbing incident in Holly Springs, North Carolina, where a daycare teacher is facing serious child abuse charges. Court documents reveal that Archana Singh, a 40-year-old daycare teacher, is accused of grabbing a toddler by the arm and dragging him across a playground, causing the child to fall and hit his head. We look at the allegations and the legal proceedings facing Ms. Singh. Our next story is shaking up the political landscape as House Democrats campaign arm draws intense progressive fury over their strategy in a key House primary. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee made a move by backing California State Assemblymember Jasmeet Bains over a far-left challenger, sparking outrage from progressive lawmakers who argue the group should remain neutral. We break down the internal conflict and the backlash against this decision. Finally, we return to international tensions as President Donald Trump hinted once again that the U.S. might start arming the Iranian people amidst the conflict. Trump referenced the massive loss of 42,000 protesters and stated that if the Iranian people had guns, they would certainly fight back. Stay with us for more breaking news and analysis. Washington, President Donald Trump suggested during an interview on The Hugh Hewitt Show that the United States might begin arming the Iranian people amid the ongoing conflict. The comments came in response to the high number of protesters killed by the Iranian regime. Trump referenced the loss of approximately 42,000 protesters in December of the previous year and January of the current year, stating, "They lost 42,000 to be exact. 42,000 people in about a 2-week period. Protesters, innocent, unarmed protesters." He characterized these individuals as not representative of the general populace. Trump further asserted that if the Iranian people were armed, they would inevitably fight back. The conflict in Iran escalated earlier this year following joint strikes by Israel and the United States, prompted by concerns over the country's missile capabilities. In related developments, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed on Tuesday that the ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. remains in effect. Holly Springs, North Carolina, a daycare teacher is facing a child abuse charge following an incident where police reported she allegedly grabbed a toddler and dragged him across a playground. Court documents filed in Wake County identify the defendant as 40-year-old Archana Singh of Apex. According to the charging documents, investigators allege that Singh, who was employed as a daycare teacher, grabbed a child by the arm, jerked him backward, and dragged him a distance estimated between 5 to 10 feet across the playground. The documents further state that the child subsequently lost his balance, fell backward, and struck his head on the ground. Singh voluntarily surrendered to authorities with her husband and attorney present. She has been released on bond and is scheduled to appear in court on June 10. This case is being covered by ABC 11 Raleigh-Durham. House Democrats' campaign arm is facing intense backlash from the progressive wing after backing a centrist candidate over a far-left challenger in a crucial House primary race. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, or DCCC, recently added California State Assemblymember Jasmeet Bains and 7 other Democrats to its Red to Blue program, a move seen by progressives as an attempt to manipulate the outcome of key primaries across the country. The controversy centers on the DCCC's decision to endorse Bains instead of progressive challenger Randy Villegas, a university professor supported by Senator Bernie Sanders. Progressive lawmakers, including leaders of the Congressional Progressive Caucus PAC, strongly objected, asserting that the campaign arm should maintain neutrality in contested primaries, arguing that voters, not the DCCC, should determine Democratic nominees. Progressive representatives, such as Rep. Adelita Grijalva, criticized the intervention as tone-deaf, particularly in districts with significant Latino populations. Villegas himself labeled the DCCC's involvement as undemocratic. Baines and Villegas are competing to unseat Republican incumbent Rep. David Valado in the majority Hispanic district. Beyond the primary dispute, the DCCC's strategy to promote candidates in other crowded primaries has drawn criticism. For instance, promoting state legislator Joe Baldacci in Maine's 2nd Congressional District drew sharp rebuke from a rival candidate, who accused Washington, D.C. insiders of dictating representation. In response to the criticism, the DCCC defended its actions, stating that the candidates included in its program are best positioned to win in November and hail from various parts of the party. The DCCC spokesman emphasized the imperative for Democrats to regain control of the House to address issues like lower costs and affordable health care. National Republicans have warned that such interventions risk deepening chaos among Democratic primaries and alienating the party's far-left base. Furthermore, progressives in the Senate have criticized Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats' campaign arm for tacitly supporting more centrist candidates, highlighting internal friction within the Democratic leadership regarding primary strategy. President Donald Trump has suggested during a recent interview that the United States might begin arming the Iranian people amidst the ongoing conflict. Speaking on The Hugh Hewitt Show, Trump addressed the issue of arming Iranians, citing the high death toll among protesters. He referenced the loss of 42,000 protesters in a 2-week period in December of last year and January of this year, characterizing them as innocent, unarmed protesters and not your typical people. Trump asserted that if the Iranian people were armed, they would fight back. The conflict escalated earlier this year following joint strikes by Israel and the U.S. against Iran over concerns regarding the country's missile capabilities. In related developments, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed on Tuesday that the ceasefire between Iran and the United States remains in effect.